Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Dear my children, dear my friends, dear my people of the land of China, dear the children of China, I send my beautiful and lovely salutation of Assalam, saying to every young man in China, young girl in China, as well as the elders of the beloved country of China, every Chinese citizen, I say to you, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My people, I've come today to explain to you one of the important, very important, healthy tips that will keep your nation as the Chinese, as you've always been, a people who respects human dignities. Because we are taught many, many years ago that you should respect your own bodies as well as respect every human being and the dignities and the rights of every human being, so that way you will always be prosperous. When you respect the dignities and respect yourself as a human being, the reward is that nature and the environment around you will always reward you with the beauty of foods of good health. So we are going to look at the health and the tips that will protect every little girl, every young boy in China, at least for the next 10,000 years, so that your children, the Chinese children, are healthy and are free from any healthy conditions which occur in human bodies if those human bodies are exposed to things like hazards, mainly alcohol and drugs. Alcohol is a healthy hazard. Alcohol is a healthy hazard, and drugs also is a health hazard. So, my people, let's look at the dangers, the hidden dangers of alcohol to a human body. First of all, we are going to look at the blood system of the human being, of the human body. The blood system of a human body has what we call red and white blood cells. Those red and white blood cells also, they have what we call electrical spasms. Those electrical spasms are responsible for the building every muscle in and on a human body. Those red and white blood cells, electrical spasms, are always needed in every part of the body of a human being. First, majorly the most important part of the human body, which manages those red and white blood cells sequencing rotation cycles to be able to build muscles, to be able to manage every function of the body of a human being. Those electrospasms are majorly centered in the brain neurons. The brain neurons in the brain is responsible for distributing and exchanging and executing every information, every whatever that is needed in any part of the body of a human being. So the healthy of the healthy of an electrical spasm in a human body is very important, very very important. That your the electrospasm of a human being have to be very very healthy, so that your body is in good health. When that happens, when your red and white blood cells are healthy, as well as your electrospasms are healthy, then the next thing is that to try and avoid things that can affect or can damage the stability and the healthy stability of the electrical spasms in red and white blood cells. Because once the blood system of a human being goes in any kind of unwanted kind of instability or conditions that makes the blood cell unstable, the blood system unstable, that will cause so many kind of problems to every part of the body of a human being, including muscles and every organ. So we are now going to look at the reason, or one of the ways to be able to protect yourselves from any unwanted healthy conditions which arises from the hazards which we mentioned when we are opening up this healthy device. Hazards, we said that alcohol is a healthy hazard, and also drugs is also a healthy hazard. Alcohol is one of the most common abused drug or an intoxicant by human beings, because most of the time it's kind of freely available in shops, in supermarkets and what have you. Whereas it's one of the deadliest intoxicant or deadliest hazard that the human body can put in their bodies. Because first of all, I'll mention this before we go any further, that my people of China, alcohol is forbidden by a holy divine law. And that holy divine law, I think, is one of if you check the tenets of wisdom, which we are the health tenets of wisdom, which were written by Zheng. Zheng explains exactly how a body is affected by alcohol if someone consumes alcohol. But I'm going to show this holy divine law in Islam, where it is stated by the most holy glorified Lord Allah that humankind or human beings do not put alcohol in your bodies. Do not allow either men or women to consume alcohol because of the hazardous implications that occur if a human being consumes alcohol. My people, the divine law is found in the Holy Quran. It says, Allah states that He has forbidden human beings from the consumption of alcohol. One of the reasons he puts straightforward is that a human body does not have the mechanisms and does not know how to remove alcohol, gang toxins from the human body. That if a human being consumes alcohol, all the toxin, gang toxins elements of alcohol will kind of circulate in every section of muscle tissues of a human body, because the body itself, the human body itself, does not have the mechanisms and does not know how to remove alcohol, gang toxins from the human body. That way, if and the danger with the alcohol gang toxin elements of alcohol, once they are in the human body, the first thing they do is to attack and kill a red and white blood cell, or disable a red and white blood cell. Once the alcohol toxin elements, toxins, kind of attack the electrical spasms in every red and white blood cell, that means the red and white blood cell is either killed or disabled. The electrospasm is killed or disabled, and that causes the kind of a hidden evidence that a human body, already we know that it does not have the mechanisms to remove alcohol from its body, from the body of a human being. And yet, if alcohol toxin elements of alcohol toxin gang toxins kill the electrospasm, that means the entire system of a human body which cleans and manages and builds every muscle is disabled or kind of disabled. So if the red and white blood cell electrospasm is killed or destroyed or disabled, that means the body has no any way it can help itself to remove the toxic elements of alcohol toxic gang toxins from the body. That means alcohol toxin elements of alcohol are stuck or in every tissue of the muscle of a human being. That way, it is a big problem. Once that occurs, it's a very big problem. Because first of all, alcohol will as we've seen that alcohol attacks every red and white blood cell electrospasm, and it either kills it or disables it. But in that process of disabling the electrospasm in a red and white blood cell, the alcohol toxin element gang toxins, they attach themselves to every red and white blood cells, or they pin themselves on every red and white blood cells, causing that the effect that wherever the red and white blood cell goes, while it is in a state of either disablement because it doesn't have an electrical spasm, wherever it goes, it is always carrying the alcohol toxin gang toxin elements of alcohol that kind of stops the body regenerating or regenerating muscle regeneration or rebuilding of muscles. So the first effect that occurs in a human body, before we go from whatever, let's look at the brain of a human being, because we've seen that alcohol toxin elements of toxins in the human body kind of kills the electrospasm, and the brain neurons of a human being depend entirely on electrical spasms to be able to manage the functions of every red blood cell in the human body. That includes building of muscle and all the changes that the human being goes through, either with women, the changes whereby the reproductive cycle, whatever, of a woman. The reproductive cycle, menstrual cycles of a woman are managed by the healthy electrospasms in a human body of a human. Once we've seen that once alcohol toxin gang toxin elements of alcohol are in the human body, they kill the electrospasm. So that means if a woman consumes alcohol, then her reproductive cycle or whatever are kind of put out of action, and they're no longer available. Either you have to go onto a medication to be able to resuscitate and be able to resuscitate the red red and white blood cells electrospasm to be kind of in an order which will not be in its natural balanced order, because it was already put out of its natural balanced order by the alcohol toxin whatever gunk elements or toxins. So that way, Allah has said, do not consume alcohol. First of all, the human body does not have the mechanism, does not know how to remove alcohol from a human body. And two, the alcohol itself has the toxin elements of alcohol. They disable, they kill every electrical spasm in either red or white blood cells, causing the brain to go into a partial paralysis because it has no electrical spasms. Once the brain goes into partial paralysis, that means the entire body, we are looking at the brain now, the entire body, once the brain goes into partial paralysis, that means the entire body, half of it is in partial paralysis, or the nervous whatever is in partial paralysis. That's when a human being either cannot stand upright without struggling, cannot walk without struggling, and with that, a human being who has consumed alcohol cannot articulate reason to any meaningful kind of response. If he's asked a question, they won't be able to give a meaningful answer to what the question they've been asked. That means the brain of a human being, half of it is half dead. Medically, could we say half of the brain is half dead. And if this occurs, if someone consumes alcohol on a daily basis, and this effect occurs in a human body on a daily basis continuously, whereby the brain neurons are in a state of partial paralysis, let's say for 3 hours. Once a person consumes alcohol, it will take another 3 hours or 4 hours before that alcohol kind of wears off their body. That means that person is very likely to go into to contract diseases like dementia. The diseases like dementia and so many other complications, multi-body organ failure like kidney failure, and pressure, blood pressure, and what have you. And blood pressure is very common in people who consume alcohol, because once the red and white blood cell electrospasm is killed, the first thing is that the blood it won't be able to, it has no rotation sequencing cycle on which it is supposed to be able to work, to rotate, to do whatever it does on a natural balanced pressure, blood pressure, which is whatever, because the red and white blood cells were killed, and the blood whatever red and white cells are themselves are disabled, are in a state of disablement. So the blood pressure can easily either go up or down. So that is one of the symptoms and the diseases that occur in human bodies if they consume alcohol. So Allah has said, do not put alcohol in your bodies. So this health advice goes to the Chinese government and to every Chinese woman and every Chinese little boy and every Chinese man. That many years ago, many of you do not know me, but many years ago, more than 7,967 years ago, I used to live in China. I used to live 3 miles from the Forbidden City, southwest of Beijing, from the Forbidden City, from the Forbidden City. That's where I used to live, as a Chinese, whatever. And those days, we told the Chinese, we guided the Chinese, do not let your women to consume alcohol, because alcohol can drive men to do things which are very wicked. As well as women, if they consume alcohol, they will lose their mind and find themselves in a situation whereby either a woman is fighting with her husband all the time, and the children as well. So, as an advice to my people of China, because your ancestors, when when I was in China, many, as I said, 7,967 years ago, I used to live in China. In those days, we told the people of China and told the people of China that you should never consume alcohol in order to keep your people healthy, your women very fertile and healthy and happy. Because anyone who consumes alcohol, because we've seen that the entire red and white blood cell system, electrospasms, we are killed by alcohol once a person consumes alcohol. That means that that person is not happy. She cannot find natural balanced happiness, which is either from the environment, even from her body, the body herself. So the advice I'm sending to the Chinese government: do not allow alcohol in China to be consumed by the Chinese citizens. Otherwise, if every year you let alcohol into your country, what will happen is that with that, whatever that comes in the country as alcohol, at least I'll give you a percentage of, let's say, 10,000 people every year will either go bankrupt, they will go into whatever, and they will lose their mind. So the Chinese government has to cough out in order to kind of support their healthy, because you have people who are going out of their mind because of alcohol. So to avoid such things that you don't get diseases, man-made diseases in the people of China, do not allow alcohol consumption within the societies of China. Because alcohol is a health hazard, and it is the most common available intoxicant or hazard that is available on every supermarket shelves or every corner shop shelves, as a hazard that men do not understand the deadly effects it has. So do not allow any Chinese whatever citizen to consume alcohol. You may find my advice to you, you may find it whatever, but I have to advise you, because you, as I told you, more than 7,967 years ago, I used to live in China. You may say, yeah, it's true or not, but that's the way it is. And we are the people who wrote the first characters of the Chinese alphabet. In that, one of my name, the character, there's a character which looks like a K in the Chinese alphabet. That is my character. That's my name. It stands for my name. And there's a T in the Chinese what we call theoretical kind of theoretical characters that make up the words of the Chinese language. A T is also my name. It is one of my name. So we made what you people use today as your characters of the language, how to be able to identify yourselves as human beings of all Chinese. Character K, character T, and so many other characters. And with them, we taught the Zheng that these characters, we left them with the Chinese people as a warning to them. Some of them are warnings. They have hidden warnings that my people of China, do not ever allow the people of China to consume alcohol, because once you consume alcohol, you find that any person who consumes alcohol, they lose their mind. They will find pleasure in atrocities against their fellow citizens. People will find that they gain pleasure from the mutilation of their fellow citizens, psychological mutilation and physical mutilations of their fellow Chinese or people, citizens. So do not allow any Chinese child or any Chinese boy or any Chinese girl or any Chinese person to consume alcohol, because the costs of repairing damage caused by alcohol outweighs any whatever that you see taxes that you may collect from whatever when you sell alcohol in China. Even the disease that occur in human bodies, once these bodies are circulated with alcohol, those complications are very, very difficult, and they're not incurable. They're incurable. They become incurable because alcohol just sits in every muscle tissue in the human body, causing pain and whatever damage to every muscle tissue. Because once alcohol is in the human body, it has a format which is a rotting, decaying, boiling effect on every muscle tissue in a human body. That causes arthritis. It causes pain. It can easily cause the red and white blood cells, because they were killed and whatever. They can easily mutate and become cancer tumors in a human body. So my people of China, take this advice as a warning to you all, my people, and to the government of China. As I told you, you may find it that when I tell you that I used to live in China 7,967 years ago. I used to live 3 miles from the Forbidden City, that is southwest of the Forbidden City, 3 miles. You may find that whatever. And the left mark there where I used to live exactly, there is a landmark which is still standing today. I would have said it on whatever to prove to you that what I'm telling you is right, but I'll keep that to myself. So, my people of China, I send every my love, my whatever, my wishes of good health to every newborn child in China, to every newborn child boy in China, to every newborn child girl in China. And I beg and I argue the government of China to put in law the protection of every citizen of China from the hidden dangers of alcohol. As human beings, most of the diseases and complications that occur in human bodies are majorly centered on the blood system, the red and white blood system. Once that red and white blood system is either altered or damaged or whatever, that may bring on many diseases, and every other day a new disease will occur. So the people of China, take my advice as your ancestors did. Your ancestors, listen to me. There were people who learned whatever they learned from me. As I told you, if you were to look at the alphabet, what you call it, the alphabet or the theoretical alphabet characters of the Chinese language, there's a K, there's a letter which looks like a K. That is my signature, that's my name. There's another letter which looks like a T. That's also my signature. There's another letter, so many letters, so many characters which I would say would whatever. But I will not go into that. Maybe that will be next time. But my message today is about health. How to protect every citizen in the land of China. The same way we made you build a wall, or the Great Wall of China. The same way this advice goes to every Chinese citizen that build a wall to protect your health, or to safeguard your health from any hazardous implications that may occur in your bodies if you were to consume alcohol, if you were to allow your children or future generation to consume alcohol. It's forbidden by a holy divine law that the human body should not consume alcohol, because a human body does not have the mechanisms and does not know how to remove any alcohol toxic toxins from the human body. This is a health advice, a health guidance to every child, every young man, and every young boy out there in China that do not consume alcohol. One, before I close off this advice, I'll send my message. This kind of section is mainly directed at women, the Chinese women, young women of China, and young women of China. This is a healthy tip to guide you to know what you really are and what alcohol does to your bodies once you put it in your bodies. As a woman, when you put alcohol in your body, every alcohol toxin, gunk, toxin element, they will go straight into your ovaries. Into your ovaries. Once they're in your ovaries, they will kind of make a lining of the ovaries, a layer of lining, an alcohol toxic gunk layer in the lining of the ovaries, whereby, first of all, they will affect you by your menstrual cycles, your reproductive menstrual cycles will kind of become irregular or painful. And the other effect is that your genetic structure will be altered. And that also applies to if you are to become pregnant, because the alcohol toxic gunk toxin elements has kind of made a mucus in the ovaries as a lining of the ovaries. That will cause the egg, that if an egg goes into your ovaries, it will be kind of trapped by toxic alcohol gunk toxin mucus, which may kind of genetically damage the egg in your womb, causing it to be if you were to become pregnant, to have a child who has a medical disorder. A medical disorder which can either be severe or mild. But you don't need either a severe medical disorder or a mild medical disorder in your children. So, as you women of China, young girls, do not consume alcohol. Do not let your bodies touch what you have explained you what alcohol is. It's a hazard. Alcohol is a hazard, which a human body should not consume hazards, knowingly that it's taking in a hazard, which once you let hazards in your body, there's no way you can be able to remove it from your own bodies. So, my people, this message is to every child, every young man, every young girl in China. Keep your health, because you are responsible as an individual. You are responsible for your being healthy. You being in good health is your number one responsibility. You have to be very healthy in order to get a job. You have to be very healthy in order to look after your family, your husband, your children. You have to be in good health in order to become pregnant. You have to be in good health in order to be happy. So, my people of China, take my advice as an advice that is very important. The government of China, I'm talking to you direct. Do not allow Chinese people to consume alcohol. Alcohol is forbidden by a holy divine law. If you want to prove this, you can consult the Zheng tenets, or the tenets of Zheng, the health tenets of Zheng, which were written by Zheng. They have references which here reflects or depicts what I've just told you today. I'll say to you, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. The people of China, I love you. You are my people, and I always look forward and always love you all. Happy birthday to every newborn child in China today, a boy and a girl. A happy birthday to you all. Look after your health and be very happy and live a very good, healthy life, do not allow alcohol near you. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.